Prenatal Yoga. I'm Kelli DeFlora, owner of Montclair Baby and yoga instructor. I'm so glad you're here with me. I've put together a little home prenatal yoga practice since we can't be together in person so that we can stay connected through our practice. So a couple of just setup ideas in your home. One thing you can do is find a clear space where you can practice in, lay out your yoga mat. You might want to gather also some props around you, like if you have yoga props like a yoga blanket or blocks or strap or even bolster. If you don't have those items, that's no problem. You can also use things from your house. So you could use, for substitutes for blankets, you could use folded towels or sturdier couch cushions. You want something with a little bit of firmness for propping. And then for blocks, you could use thick books. You could also use containers or boxes, something that has a little bit of height to it, but it's not too heavy. And then ideas for straps is that you could use a bath robe tie or a scarf, something that has some length to it so you can use that for a prop as well from your home. In terms of bolsters for the relaxation at the end, if you'd like to grab any pillows from your bed, or if you have a pregnancy pillow, that's nice. So just having some extra pillows and propping for relaxing at the end. I'm really excited to practice with you today. Let yourself feel grounded through the pelvic bones. Take any movement that you need to. If the shoulders feel really tight, you can take just a couple of big rolls around, just loosen that energy up. And even bringing that front head of the shoulder more level with the collarbones. Let the tops of the shoulders release away from the ears and let the arms just rest comfortably in your lap. And then just taking this moment to find your breath, close your eyes just for a moment and just centering yourself in this moment, letting go of all the outer details of the day and just coming into this moment with yourself and with your baby. As you take these nice deep breaths on the inhale, just breathing in new energy to your cells, to your baby cells, and exhaling anything that you don't need to hold on to in this moment. So just letting that release through the exhalation. So inhale, bringing in new energy. Exhale, letting go of anything else. And just letting this span of time be a place for you to practice. And let it be a place of celebration, of connection to yourself and to your baby. So let's bring one hand to our heart and the other hand onto our baby and just feeling your heart center and your baby's heart center connected. Still just staying present with your breath as it comes in and out. And you can connect what's happening to your baby with the breath. So as you inhale, your baby's rocking into the hammock of the belly. And as you exhale, your baby, you're hugging them in. And so in this way, our breath is really the first embrace that we give our baby before we're able to hold them in our arms. And then just softly releasing the hands, lightly opening the eyes, coming back to center. Let's bring the soles of our feet together. So with our hands on our shins, we're just going to start with some hip circles. So just taking this moment to begin to move with soles of the feet together, exhaling, stirring back. And just tapping into your rhythm. Maybe you want to move through these circles really slowly. Maybe you want to move more quickly through them. Just really tapping into your rhythm right now and just letting yourself flow with those circles. And then gently just coming to stillness, and we're just going to bring and breathe our right arm up. And it doesn't matter which arm, you can just alternate arms if you don't want to think about right or left. Exhaling, rolling back. Inhaling, coming up. And exhaling, hugging your baby in as you roll back. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, releasing back. Inhale, left arm up, and exhale, releasing in. And then inhale, breathe both arms up, And then hinging from the pelvis, we're going to come forward into that nice forward bend, reaching, extending out. And then just let your fingertips lightly land on the floor. Back of the pelvis rooted down. You can let your chin softly release in, your top of your crown of the head releasing into the center as you release down. Just letting the elbows lightly bend. And again, just letting yourself softly receive that forward bend, letting your breath nourish you. And then gently coming back up again. Walking fingertips back in. And then we're going to go ahead and we'll just draw our right foot in and swing our left leg alongside, pointing foot back. And we're going to bring our hands to our hips. And we're just going to do that pelvic rocking. And this little sequence is a really good one that you can do daily. It's an SI joint balancing sequence, and it's really simple to do, really effective at helping to balance out the pelvic bones. And it also really connects you to your pelvis and also how your baby is in the pelvis as we rock back and forth. So you're just visualizing your baby's head nestled in the pelvis and you're rocking them with this movement back and forth. Drawing in and inhale, slight arch. And exhale, drawing in. Inhale, slight arch. Exhale, drawing in, and inhale, slight arch. Good. One more time, exhaling in. Inhale, slight arch. And then come to a neutral position between those two curves. We're going to take our left hand to the top of that left thigh, and we're going to roll it internally in, and then bring it back. Internal rotation. And external. Don't worry about what side you're doing either. It doesn't matter. We'll get to the other side and you can reverse it if you need to. Back and forth. Good. Internal rotation and external. So it's just those two parts, and it really helps to balance where the sacrum and pelvis meet in the back. We'll do that one more time. All right, and then we're going to take a side stretch. So we're going to walk our right fingertips over to the right, and then we're going to bring that left arm up and over the ear. And really pressing down, reaching through those fingertips, and really press your pelvic bones down as you reach through the left fingertips. And you can play with the angles here and let the breath really open the spaces between the ribs. And, you know, again, follow your body. So maybe you want to open up more through the heart, or maybe you want to open up through more of the back of the rib cage. You can play with the angles in any way that feels good to you. And then on the exhale, we're going to come forward, just really sweeping that hand all the way around. Bring it down to the ground and bring that right arm up and over the ear. Reach, extend through fingertips. Again, really rooting down through the pelvic bones. And let your breath make spaces between the ribs, make space in that side body. And then gently exhale, releasing around, coming back. Good, and then we'll just swing our legs out in front of us and just stretch out. Let's wiggle those toes around, just get some circulation going in the lower legs. Do some nice circles with the feet, the ankles. Nice big circles, and then we'll just reverse in the opposite direction. And then we'll point one foot and flex the other, going back and forth. And then we'll just playfully wiggle and shake out the legs. And then we'll switch sides. So bringing left foot in, or whichever leg you didn't do last time, and right leg back behind you. Bring hands to the wings of the pelvis. Really feel your pelvic bones as you rock your baby in that cradle back and forth. Inhale, slight arch. And exhaling in. Inhaling, arching. And exhaling in. And just getting into a nice rhythm here, back and forth. Connecting to your baby, rocking them in the cradle of your pelvis. We'll do that one more time. And then we're going to take the right hand to the right femur bone and roll that right hip in, and then bring it back. A nice internal rotation and external. Internal rotation and external. Again, internal rotation and external. Good, we can walk the left fingertips over, get that nice side stretch in, reaching up and over, pressing down through the pelvic bones, really reaching through the fingertips. And again, let that breath make spaces between the ribs here, and you can open up in any way that feels good. So if you want to open up more through the chest, you can bring the arm and elbow back. If you want to roll a little bit forward and stretch through the back of the rib cage, you can. So just playing with angles to find what feels most delicious to you right now, most opening. And then on the exhale, we're going to come all the way around, reaching around, and bring the right hand down, left hand up and over the ear, reach, extend through fingertips. And again, letting your breath really create space. As you all know, your baby takes up a lot of space, so this space is for us to make space for our internal organs. And then exhale, releasing, coming back around. Good. We're going to slowly now make our way up onto all fours. So you can come up. If you'd like a blanket or even a pillow underneath your knees, if that feels better, you could open a blanket or just be on your mat on all fours. So we're going to take a little flow sequence. So pressing down through the hands, and bring the big toes together, knees separated apart. We're going to just stretch back into child's pose, just stretching back. And then inhale, coming forward. Bring chest and sternum through the upper arms. And then exhale, stretching back into child's pose. Inhale, come forward. And exhale, stretch back. And again, this you can go at your own pace. Maybe you want to do it nice and slow. Maybe you want to move a little faster, just bringing chest and sternum through the upper arms. Knees stay on the ground, just back and forth a few more times. And then come up to all fours, and we're just going to do some nice hip circles here. Reaching through, coming around, and just really reaching back through the pelvic bones, getting into that nice rhythm. And then let's just reverse in the opposite direction around. Big circles, stretching back, just really opening up through those pelvic bones, really feeling the ground beneath you. And then come back to center. Good, we're going to drop down onto the forearms, and this is a really great position as well. You can clasp the hands together, elbows nice and wide. And this is a nice one to do throughout your day, just to get into this position. It's really good for helping your baby to get into good position. And it also takes some of the weight off the ligaments of the pelvis. So we're just going to take an exhale, rolling in. And then inhale, slight arch, looking forward, bring chest and sternum through the upper arms. Then exhale, curling in around your baby. And then inhaling, slight arch, bringing chest and sternum through the upper arms. Let's do that one more time. Then we're going to come into, press into our forearms and just reach the buttock bones back. If you want to get a deeper stretch for the shoulder blades, let your forehead release towards the floor, fingertips stretching up towards the ceiling. And let your heart melt as you actively reach your buttock bones back. And then gently coming up, walk the hands back in. And then let's just come to sit back on the heels. If you have blocks, or if you want to have a little bit of height, you can always place a block or two underneath you, or whatever you're using, some books, blankets, any props, whatever helps you to feel comfortable sitting, kneeling, okay? So we're just going to come back into that kneeling position. And just taking a moment here again to feel yourself grounded. Try to bring your knees as close together as you can. And let's just take a deep breath up. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Clasp the hands together, roll palms towards the ceiling. Try to soften the tops of the shoulders away from the ears. We're just going to take a slight turn to the right. And then exhale, slight turn to the left. And then come back to center, and let's just take a deep breath in. And just exhale. Let those arms float down again. Good, big breath up, come up. This time we're going to bend the right elbow, take a hold of the right elbow with the left hand, and just gently pull the right elbow a little bit behind the back of the head and lean up and over to the left. So you just get a nice side stretch here, also stretching through the side of the arm and that tricep area, just breathing here. And just again, making space in that side body. And come back up to center, switch the arm to the other side, take a hold of that left elbow with the right hand, and then just gently coming up and over to the right. Just feeling that nice open spaces in the side body. Breathing, nice deep breaths. And then gently coming back to center and exhale, just release the hands down. Good, from here we're going to take our right arm over our left and bring our palms towards one another. If your palms don't reach, you could also just give yourself a big hug. Either is really fine. If hands are clasped together, just gently lift the elbows up. Keep the shoulders soft away from the ears. And then exhale, just let the elbows drop down as you really soften the tops of the shoulders away from the ears. So those tiny pulses, inhale, looking up. Exhale, releasing down. Inhale, lifting elbows up. And exhale, release. Then with shoulders soft away from the ears, see if you can pull the upper arms apart as you hug the forearms in. And just really breathe space into the back of the heart. Making that space grow wider, let it soften and open. We have a lot of emotion stored at that back part of our heart, so just letting the breath calm and open that area. It tends to get really tight in there as well. So just let the breath really open that space wide. And then gently releasing. Playfully just shake out the arms in between. Kind of move around the shoulders, shake it out a little bit. And then we're going to cross left over right, bring palms together. And we'll do that lift, inhale, lifting up. And exhale, releasing down. Inhale, just a slight lift up. And exhale, releasing down. Inhale, slight lift up. And exhaling down, then just letting the tops of the shoulders release away from the ears. Pull the upper arms apart, hug the forearms in, and again, just breathing space into the back of the heart, letting that shoulder blades open wide, letting them spread apart. And then gently releasing. Go ahead and roll and shake that out, wiggle it out again in between. Just letting some of that energy that needs to be released in the body open up. Good, and then we're going to take a nice deep breath and come up off the blocks. You can move them off to the side or whatever you were using as props there. And we're going to come up into an upright kneel. Just going to move back a little bit so you can see me for this one. So we're going to inhale, come up, and with the toes pointed, we're going to exhale, come back, and as you sit back with toes pointed, think of giving your baby a big hug. Then we're going to inhale, come up, breathe those arms up, tuck your toes under, and sit back with toes curled under. Exhaling back, give your baby a hug. Inhale, big breath up, point your feet. Exhale, sitting back, give your baby a hug. One last time with toes curled under. This is really good for stretching out the arches of the feet. Tuck those toes under, draw inner ankles again, and as you sit back into one another, you're just going to hug in, and then big breath, come up. Good, and then exhale, release the hands down. From here, we're going to take our left leg out to the left, bring our right hand to the center, foot facing straight ahead, and we're going to take a big breath and come up into this open twist. Big breath up. And again, don't worry about what side you're doing. You can always just do the other side the next time. And then exhale, curl in, again, around your baby. Weave your hand through. And then inhale, come up with that big breath. And exhale, releasing through. Inhale, coming up. Big breath up. And exhale, releasing through. Inhale, big breath up. And exhale, reaching through. The next time you come up, we're going to inhale, come up to stay open in that twist. Let your bottom ribs roll forward, your top ribs up, reaching fingertips towards the ceiling. And just again, inviting that breath to make space between the ribs, make space for your organs, for your baby. And then gently release. Come back. And then from here, you can tuck the toes under, and you can just stretch back to downward facing dog in between sides. You could also do child's pose or cat or cow, whatever feels best to your body in between. And then gently we'll inhale, come down, come back with the knees, and then we're going to do the other side. So we're going to bring right leg out, toes pointed straight ahead. Left hand on the floor. If it doesn't feel good to have your wrist flexed, you can come up onto the fingertips. We're going to come up with that right hand, and then exhale, we're just going to reach it through. And again, inhale, opening up, making all that space for your baby, for your organs. Exhale, reaching through. Inhale, open up, big breath up. And exhale, reaching through. Inhale, open up. And exhale, reaching through. On the next inhalation, we'll stay open. Just stay in that open twist. Invite your bottom ribs forward, top ribs back. Just enjoy that space as you reach through the fingertips. And then gently releasing. And once again, from here you can come to all fours and then right back into downward facing dog, or your choice of cat and cow or child's pose. So just listening to your body here. Take another deep breath, and then we'll just gently release, coming down onto the knees. Walk the hands back. Let's come up into an upright kneel. And then you can take your right foot forward, and you can take a block or your book from home, whatever prop you want to use, to the inside of the right foot. And have that right foot further ahead. And if you want a little cushioning underneath that back knee, you can always slide a pillow or a blanket there. We're going to come into a lunge. Okay, so just coming into that lunge. And we're just going to bring the left arm up as we come up. And then exhale, we're going to stretch back into a hamstring stretch, just flexing the foot. And then inhale, big breath up. And then just exhale, coming back. And you're just moving back and forth a few times. This is just nice at helping to get the energy to move in the body. Exhale back. Inhale, come forward. And exhaling back. Then we're going to inhale, come up with both arms now. Reaching, let the front of the pelvis soften and the tailbone lengthens long. And then gently bring the hands down to the block, to the inside. And you can bring your right leg more to the right if you need a little bit more space for your belly and your baby. And then come forward. And just really work at really releasing that the left thigh. This gets really deeply into the psoas, and you can let the left inner thigh draw in and back, hugging that left hip into the midline as you soften forward. On the exhale, think of drawing your baby in with a big hug. And you can use that block to also reach and open through the heart at the same time. And then we'll come back and flex the foot, and hinging from a hip hinge, flex the foot and just stretching the hamstring on that right side. And you can just really gently draw the skin of the heel back, and you could rest your hands on, again, a book or a block. They can even rest on the thigh, or you might want to come all the way to the floor as you sit into that. Hands can go on the inside of the leg just to give a little bit more space for the uterus. And then we're going to come forward again. And this time, if you want, you can you can take your block and bring it more flat, or your book, and then come forward. And then once again, just stretching through the top of that thigh. And if you want to give a little turn out, you can just take the right foot very gently and turn the foot out slightly. And this will get a little bit more into that inner hip and inner thigh on that right side. And then we'll come back to all fours. And then your choice to do a down dog or any flow like cat and cow or child's pose. You decide what feels best to you in this moment. Feel free to move around a little bit, shake out the hips, or stretch out the calves. And then we'll just come up, walk the hands in, and we're going to go ahead and do the other leg, the left leg forward. So you can swing that left leg forward. Bring the block to the inside of that left foot. And we're going to inhale, just come forward with that right hand. And exhale, shifting back. Inhaling, coming forward. And exhaling, shifting back. Inhale, forward. And exhaling back. And then on the next inhalation, coming forward, let's just bring both hands down, again to the inside of that leg. You could use a block if you need a little bit more height. You could bring hands to the floor. And you can also sidestep the left foot more to the left to make more space for your baby a little bit, for your uterus, and just making that space. So hands pressing down, lifting through the heart. Let the front of the pelvis really soften. And then gently coming back through a hamstring stretch, so just flexing the foot, coming back. And again, you can adjust the block in any way that feels good. Flex the foot, sitting back. Taking some nice deep breaths here. And then we'll come forward again. You can turn the left foot out just slightly, and then come forward, get a little bit more stretch for that left hip and the inner groin, and come forward. Let the right inner thigh roll in and back. So you're kind of rolling that leg into the midline, that right leg. And again, find that breath, let that breath make space. And then gently come back. Once again, you can come through all fours. Feel free to do a little cat-cow, child's pose, or downward dog in between. Good, and just moving around in any way that feels good to you. And then let's gently come down onto the knees. We're going to take the knees together, turn the palms towards one another, bringing those knees together. We're just going to do a little windshield wiper, so we're going to release the hips to one side and then go to the other side. So you can just play back and forth with that. This feels really good on the lower back. Also gets into the glutes, that IT band. Just really feels, it's a really nice movement, especially when you're pregnant. Good, just side to side, just enjoy that stretch. Feet are going opposite of the buttock bones. Good, one more time to each side. And then we'll take our transition to standing through downward dog. So we'll come to down dog, tuck toes under, pressing back. And then we're going to bend the knees, and then we're going to walk hands back towards the feet. And as we walk the hands back, we're going to bring our hands to our thighs and really find that hip hinge. So we're hinging from the pelvis and reaching buttock bones back behind us. Pause here and do a couple of cat and cows here. Inhale, slight arch at the back, opening up. And exhale, rounding in. Inhale, slight arch. Exhale, round in. Find that neutral place in your back. Reach through fingertips. And then we're going to inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, just release the hands down. Good. We're going to, from here, come to stand on our mat with the feet parallel. And I'm just going to step back a bit so you can see me. And we're going to take a block or a book or anything we can use for a little standing flow sequence. So just find the middle of your mat. Good. And we're going to inhale, come up. And let's again clasp the hands together, roll palms towards the ceiling, reaching up. And then on the exhale, we're just going to come up and over to the right. So just stretching up and over to the right. And then come back to center and stretch up and over to the left. And then exhale, release. Let those arms float down again. Good. On the inhale, we're going to come up, big breath up. And let's just send a cleansing breath down as we let the arms float down. So we're going to just do that 3 times. Big breath up and really let that energy move. And exhale through the sound. One more time, big breath up. Inhale, big breath up. And exhale. Good, now we're going to move through a forward fold sequence. So we're going to inhale, come up. Exhale, we're going to sit back into that squat chair pose, reaching hands, buttock bones reaching back. And then inhale, we're going to come up. And then exhale, we're going to fold forward. If you need the feet wider, you can take them wider. Feet parallel, come down, releasing. Inhale, lift to flat back. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, bend the knees deeply. Take an exhale here. Big breath, come up. Inhale, up. And then exhale, sit into that squat. All the way down. Good. In breath, come up. And exhale, fold forward. Reach, extend out. Inhale, lift to flat back. Exhaling, folding in. Inhale, bend the knees, bring hands to thighs, reaching buttock bones back. And then big breath, come up. And then exhale, right into that chair pose, squat, inhale. And then big breath up. Exhale, releasing, folding forward. Inhale, lift to flat back. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, bend the knees, bring hands to thighs, sit into that chair pose. One more time, big breath up. Exhale, sit in to that squat. Big breath up. Exhale, fold forward, reaching, folding down. Inhale, lift to flat back. Exhale, releasing down. Good, inhale, bend the knees, bring hands to thighs. Big breath, come up. And this time, just exhale, let the hands come along the side of you. Take a moment just to kind of shake out in between, move around. You can move your block out of the way. We're going to do a little bit of standing work on our mat. So we're going to have the right foot step forward, a little bit more to the right side of your mat, and your left foot more to your left. Take a giant spread between the legs. This gives you more space to revolve the pelvis to the right buttock bones drawing back, left hip forward. And you want to have enough distance between the legs that when you bend that front knee, it's not coming way out over the ankle. That back leg is rooted, and we're just going to bring that left arm up. And then exhale, we're going to straighten the front leg, move it, the arm down. Inhale, come forward. And exhaling back. Inhale, come forward. Exhaling back. One more time. Inhale, come forward. And exhaling back. Now on the next inhale, we're going to bring our arms into a goalpost. So same foot step forward, arms in goalpost. Front knee back deeply, back leg really working. And then on the inhale, just bring the elbows back, open through the heart. Exhale, bring elbows forward, stretching through the shoulder blades. We're just going to keep in that warrior pose as we open with the inhale. Exhale, bring elbows together. Inhale, open up. Exhaling, reaching in. Inhale, open up. And exhaling in. One more time. Inhale, open up. Now stay with really open palms, open heart, elbows level with the shoulders, and just breathe into that open space through the chest, the lungs, back leg really rooted. Feel your strength from the ground up into the pelvis, and then gently releasing. Let's go ahead and step that back foot forward. Shake it out a little bit in between. Good. And then we'll set up for the other side. So we're going to take left foot forward now and right foot back. You can have more like you're on railroad tracks as opposed to a skinny tightrope wire. So that left foot more to the left. Let that right hip roll in. Back leg rooted. Front leg far enough forward so when you bend the knee, it's not coming way out over the ankle. And then just bring that right arm up. And then exhale, straighten the front leg as you release the head down like a lever with the breath. Inhale, come forward. Exhaling back. Inhale, coming forward. Exhaling back. Inhale, forward. And exhaling back. One more time, inhale, come into that pose. And now we're going to have the arms in goal pose. So front knee bending, elbows in line with shoulders, open palms. And then on the inhale, we're just going to move the elbows back a little bit. And then exhale, we're going to bring the elbows forward. So you're in that warrior the whole time. Just getting that nice movement for that mid-back, opening up through the chest. Getting some circulation, some movement going there. Good. Inhale, open up. Exhale, reaching in. Inhale, open up. And exhale in. Good, one more time, come to that nice open heart position. Just take some nice deep breaths here. And then on the exhale, we'll just release, step the back foot forward, and we're just gonna come into our hip circles. So taking hands on the hips, and we're just gonna do some nice hip circles here. So have your knees unlocked for this one, and we're just gonna find the pelvic bowl here, and just moving from that center, circling around, just getting into that really nice, fluid, soft movement. Hip circle is really great to do in pregnancy, really great to do in labor. And then we'll just reverse in the opposite direction. Again, soft, unlocked knees, find that pelvic bowl, just moving with your baby. One more time around. And then we'll come with just our hands on our hips, and we're gonna do some figure eights with the hips. So again, knees are soft for this. The right hip is gonna come up, take the top part of the eight, left hip bottom, right hip, and left hip, right hip, and left. And really get into these beautiful curves. When you're pregnant, it's really time to celebrate the beautiful curves in your body. So just getting into that nice fluid movement. Opening up. And then we'll take opposite direction through the figure eight. So now start with the left and then the right. Left and right. Left and right. One more time, left and right. And then let's just do that really, this is a nice releasing, kind of like the windshield wiper one we did earlier, just a very nice soft arm, pivoting from side to side. Soft movement. And you're really picking up one foot, swinging the arms very loosely. And your baby really loves this one. They love being gently rocked in utero. Good, one more time. And then come back to center and just shake it all out. All right, from here, we're gonna make our way back to the floor. If you have something you can lean against for your back and some support underneath you, whatever that might be, so we can come into a supported squat. You could have, if you have a wall nearby, or even just a a couch that you can lean back against, or anything that feels good. Sitting on your pillows, some blocks, some books. You can stack the books a little higher and then put pillows on top of it. Good, yeah, that looks good. So just coming into this nice comfortable squat, feet a little bit opened up and just hands lightly resting on the thighs. And this is a nice time. Just get your feet a little wider, yeah, and the knees tracking in line. And then from here, we're just going to just connect to our breath and let yourself release into the support behind you for a minute. Let yourself just relax. Especially try to relax your inner thighs and your buttock muscles. We're going to work with the pelvic floor here, so just working with the pelvic floor and the gentle flow of breath, and how with the breath the pelvic floor changes. So when you take a deep inhale and you breathe in, the respiratory diaphragm moves down, your pelvic floor releases. And then on the exhale, as you hug your baby in and the diaphragm moves back into place, you can think of a gentle lift and toning up of the pelvic floor, that hammock, lifting it up. And then inhale, letting that release and soften. And then as you exhale, really hugging your baby in, engaging pelvic floor up. And inhale, releasing. And exhale, hugging your baby in, engaging the pelvic floor up. And then inhale, releasing. And then exhale, engaging that pelvic floor up as you lift, hug your baby. And then gently release. Good, and then just come back to a soft place, neutral place with the pelvic floor and the breath, and then extend right leg out. And then we're just going to do a little open twist here, so you can just take your left elbow down to the left inner thigh, and you can use the gentle pressure of that left elbow moving against your inner thigh to really revolve the rib cage open. And then we can bring that right hand up in the air, or if there's something behind you that you want to place it on, that's fine too. Palm could be open or it could be turned, whatever feels better to you. And then just opening up into that nice open twist here. And just inviting the breath in. Staying connected to the breath as it comes in and out. And connected to your baby, actually. So on the inhale, they're rocking into the hammock of the belly, and as you exhale, hugging your baby in. And then gently release. Go ahead and bring fingertips in front of you and hinging from the pelvis. Keep the one leg straight, the other bent, and we're just going to come forward a little bit of a forward bend. So just going at your own pace, you can walk hands forward. Keep the back of the pelvis really rooted down as you reach to the heart. And just getting nicely into the inside of that right thigh, getting some hip stretch on that left side, and just breathing into that opening, this nice, deep, soft breaths. And then gently we're going to come back, support really nicely underneath that right knee, just support the knee in. Always want to be kind and gentle to our joints. So now we're going to bring that left leg out, bring right elbow to the inner thigh. And we're just going to bring the right hand up, and again you can have palm open or palm turned, and then using that gentle pressure of the right arm reaching up, just gently pressing into the right thigh to revolve the rib cage open. And again, find that nice breath. And then gently releasing, coming back to center, hinging from the hip hinge, from your pelvic bones. Now you can come forward into that forward bend. And you decide how far you want to come forward. Try to really root and anchor the back of the pelvis down. On the inhale, you can think of reaching sternum forward. On the exhale, think of hugging your baby in and rooting your pelvis down. And just staying with that nice, beautiful breath here. Really getting that nice stretch Forward bends are really good at calming the nervous system, so really good to be doing a lot of forward bending right now. And then exhale, releasing. We're going to walk the hands back in. Again, being kind to that left knee joint. Support from underneath, bring it in. And we'll do one more stretch here, coming forward now. So we're in the squat with both knees bent. We're going to walk fingertips forward. Back of the pelvis stays on whatever you're sitting on, whether that be blankets, blocks, or books. And just breathing here, back of the pelvis rooting down, opening through the heart. And then gently we'll walk fingertips back in. And then from here, we're just going to make our way back down to the floor, very gently. And we're gonna bring fingertips so they're facing our buttock bones. Feet are as wide as our hips. And we're just gonna do a little gentle windshield wiper, releasing. One knee falls in, let the other knee gently release. And just go back and forth. And again, this is really good at releasing the lower back, stretching into the glutes, getting into the outside of the thighs and the IT band, back and forth. And then the next time we come to the right with the legs, let the right knee open, bring the left knee just down and a nice open twist around. So just taking that nice open twist. And then gently come back to center. We're going to work our way to the other side. Right knee in, left leg open, and then twist around. You can have your hand just pressing down on that right thigh, or you could bring it all the way across. Just depends on what feels best to you. And feel free to open up into any stretch that feels good here. And then come back to center. Good. We're going to make our way back down now for a relaxation. Okay, so if you want to dim your lights at home, we're going to set up. There's a couple different ways you can set up. If you have enough props, you could do a semi-reclined position. So I'll show you what that looks like. You could take, if you have blocks, you can take your bolster on to those blocks. And then you can take any blanket or pillow for your head. And you can bring your soles of your feet together here and just lay back so you're in this nice 45-degree downward angle. You can use pillows, blankets. If you don't have enough to make yourself semi-reclined, you can also just choose to take a side lie. So just get whatever pillows you need to feel comfortable and to really get into a comfortable position for relaxation. So once you found that comfortable position, just kind of do a little body scan through. Just taking this moment to be really present, to letting yourself fully relax, to letting yourself be very present with your baby. The deep relaxation helps you to go deeper. It also helps your baby as well, that they receive the deep relaxation that you do. So let's do that scan through the body. Make any adjustments that you need to be comfortable. And of course, close the eyes. You can even have something over the face, like a little eye pillow, or even a scarf or something if you want to make it some little weight over the eyes. And then just going through the body and really feeling all the bones in the body heavy. And letting everything release to gravity so that The bones are heavy, and then the muscles are really softening down on the bones, and those layers of skin are softening down on the muscles. So as everything softens, you can just release and surrender to that support. You don't have to even hold yourself up. You can let yourself be held in this moment. Just like you're holding your baby right now in utero, the earth, the ground beneath you is holding and supporting you, and just letting yourself really feel that support. Breathe it in and exhale it out. And then you can let yourself just follow your breath without doing the breathing. Allow the breath to breathe you. So there's no effort of doing, but again, allowing yourself just to be, let the breath breathe you. And as you do this, you might find yourself really falling into that deep, still space within. Where the spaces between the thoughts grow wider, the stillness grows deeper, and that sense of union between you and your baby grows deeper. And just allow your awareness to rest in that union. Yoga is the ultimate expression of union, and when you are pregnant, you are the living embodiment of that word. So let yourself just rest in that space of union with yourself and with your baby. And then just still staying in the quiet, letting yourself linger there. No need to move yet, just being present to the space around you, and also present to yourself, to your baby. If you want to bring your hands to your baby, if that feels good to you, you can bring your hands onto your baby. And then just taking a moment just to really honor this perfect place in your pregnancy, this perfect moment with your baby. Take a moment to really offer gratitude first towards yourself for all that you're doing as mother, all that you're doing in nourishing your baby and nourishing yourself. And also offer that same gratitude towards your baby for all the change and growth that has happened. And feel free in the pause to offer any other prayers or thoughts or wishes that you want to yourself, to your baby, to your family in any way. And then when you feel ready, you can very gently transition. If you're really deep in relaxation and you want to stay here, that's fine to linger. You can just listen to the closing if you feel like staying reclined. And then what we're going to do to close class is we're going to do just the mudra of gratitude together. So this is cupped hands very lightly, about 6 inches away from the heart. This is a time where we really need to hold ourselves. We talked about unity and just holding ourselves, our community, each other in our hearts. And so just take a moment to just offer gratitude into your hands. And together we're going to chant the sound Ma to let that gratitude flow out into the world. Okay? So taking a nice deep breath in and exhaling Ma. Let's take that nice deep breath in. Ma. One more time, and now. Ma. And then we'll bring cup palms together to the space of the heart. And as you bring your hands in, press your palms into one another and imagine your baby's palms pressed into the center of your hands, into the center of your heart. And again, let the forehead soften as you release forward, offering that gratitude. And namaste, thank you.